Carlos is getting married. I am so excited. This is the big 2-hour finale. I think I speak as a fan, as a friend to both of you. We've been waiting for this. How excited are you to have this moment happen? The big finale of a big show. I mean, that's huge.
I don't think words can describe. To be honest, I don't think words can describe the excitement and sort of just the. Like, this has been a long road, you know, for these two, I know, personally speaking, as one of the biggest Tarlos fans out there, I'm just so happy and kind of emotional every time I think about it, especially like if you really think about what these two boys have gone through over the last 4 seasons, the amount of hurdles and obstacles that they went through to finally get to this beautiful moment of them becoming, you know, a unit, them coming together. It's beautiful. I can't wait for, I can't even imagine how beautiful the wedding is.
Well, I think it's well deserved.
Yeah.
And, you know, end of season 4, we established these characters, season 1 and season 2 and season 3, and we've had many chances to fall in love with them, to get to know them individually and as a couple. And I just think, you know, this feels so natural and so, and like Ronen, I also root for them. I'm also a fan of them as a spectator. And I think it's, you know, this wedding, this union, this, the biggest gesture of love, I think, within any culture is coming at such a the timing right now could not be more poignant and more intentional. So I'm excited. Super excited.
I mean, with that, I always say everything happens for a reason, and like you said, the timing of this is so important. And I sometimes I even forget, like, this show is on Fox. It's a network show. That means, you know, Aunt Sally and, you know, Grandpa Joe in Middle America are gonna see this gay wedding too. And I forget sometimes how important that is for you both. Like, I mean, what's it like to realize that you could be a part of, you know, broadening people's perspectives, changing conversations, you know, for representation for LGBTQ people?
Well, I think that's the magic of network television, is that, you know, it's the way that I think of it, it's like, you don't go out of your way to subscribe to it. Most of the houses in the United States of America have network television.
Yeah.
And so it's something that you can literally pick up the remote control and turn on, and like you're browsing through the television and you can stumble upon it. So it's, you know, it reaches a broader audience with less effort in a way. And so, you know, this storyline, this show is coming into houses that may not necessarily be in contact with people from the LGBTQIA+ community, and you may encounter these characters separately, and then you get to fall in love with them, and then you find out that they're actually a couple and they're unified, and they're not at all different from you. I think, you know, I think it's in the DNA of every single human being on this earth that, you know, we all share this deep yearning to connect with either someone else, with a place. We just have that trait within us. And so I think it's a great exposure to create conversations, to create community, to create you know, to also learning as well.
Yeah, of course.
I think, just personally speaking, I think the most magical thing about what we do as actors or storytelling is we can inspire people, right? And I think if the very least we can inspire conversation, I think that's a really powerful first step. And I personally know that is happening because people reach out to us from all over the world. Ever since that very first trailer in, I think, November of 2019, of Tarlos busting through the door, making out. From that moment when people realized, oh, we're gonna tell this story on network television, it has inspired people globally since day one.
Yeah.
And now, we were just saying to you off camera, but we are now going to Paris again for the 2nd year in a row to meet fans from all over the world. And that experience, you're firsthand realizing the kind of inspiration and the kind of change you're making just from telling a story on television. It's a really powerful and kind of surreal place to be in. You know, I still have to pinch myself almost every single day of like, wow, this is your job.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just a really beautiful moment to be in right now.
It is, and listen, you know, I know this show, and I am hoping that this wedding is happily ever after, perfect down the aisle. But I know this show, you know, last week you survived. Thankfully, your character doesn't have the gene. You're not going to be sick. You won't have to bathe him and take care of him and all of that.
I mean, we can still bathe.
We
Right.
could still
I
bathe.
love
I could still bathe.
I
could
love
still-
that line so much when you were like, that wouldn't be so bad. That was so good. But anyway, like, what can you tell us? Because I would imagine, you know, there's going to be a couple bumps in the road before, especially it's a 2-hour finale.
Yeah.
A bump, to say the least.
Yeah. I mean, I think you know what Tim Minear and Rashad Rassani and you know what the writers' room, what they do is that they make you earn the wedding up until the very last moment.
Yeah.
And I think what they have done with the you know with the finale is you know it's you know it's in a way it will break your heart, but it's even more but it also is an invitation for you to even fill it more with love. And I think the wedding will accomplish that, you know. There are going to be some bumps. There are going to be some bumps for Carlos, for Tarlos, but I have faith. I have faith that it's going to be a beautiful wedding. Yeah.
I have faith too, and I know, you know, thinking back when you all won the Outstanding Drama Series at this year's GLAAD Media Awards with your bud, of course, Brian Michael Smith. I know that Brian's going to be a part of the big moment. That's not a spoiler.
Yes, he is.
So, I mean, I feel like the three of y'all are, you know, just so close at this point, and I love the representation. I mean, how happy were you to have Brian Michael's character be a part of, you know, this big moment too?
You know, we were talking about it while we were shooting the wedding. Just think about that image, right? You have Carlos Reyes, then you have Paul in between him and TK.
Yeah.
You know, the three of them, that trio with the backdrop of a marriage, you know, of two men coming together as a married couple, and you have a black trans man marrying them. Like, that is an incredible image, and that again is going to be seen by tens of millions of people around the world. And it again, it's a beautiful way to inspire people and to shed a new light that they may have never seen before or thought about before, and just show them, hey, we just want to love, we just want to be loved. That's really it. You know what I mean? So that is going to be so special, and it had to be Brian.
Yeah,
you know, and it had to be Paul. It's the three of those boys. For the last 4 years, it's a really special trio, and I'm so happy that that's what they made happen.
Yeah.
Raph, filming the wedding, I know it's not the same. Obviously, you know, there's a lot of, you know, filming a show is not, you know, as romantic and perfect as when we see it, but I would imagine it was still pretty. I mean, was it emotional for you? What were you feeling? Because, like you said, it is kind of the payoff that we've all been waiting for.
Yeah.
And to shoot it, and then, you know, we're all gonna get to see it in a couple, you know, really soon.
I mean, I don't think it was very far off from reality of what would happen naturally. I mean, it was a crazy day. We had lots of people to get ready. Everyone looked beautiful, and I think when we did the very first take of the day of like our walking up, I can say that people were genuine. Like, the moment created itself. I mean, we had an amazing crew that created the scenario, the set. You know, the set design did a fantastic job, but also, I think we also expected, and we wanted to have that moment as, you know, as people playing these characters.
Oh yeah.
We wanted to own that moment, and we did.
Yeah.
We did beautifully. We did. And I'm happy to report that, like, I think everyone was crying.
Everyone. Background was crying.
Yeah.
You're like, oh wow, they're really in it.
They're in it.
Yeah. What cameras are we talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
It felt like there were no cameras.
I'm so happy because it's like, you know, you think about these two characters, and thank goodness the two of you in real life really like each other and get along. Because can you imagine having to?
We do? Wait. Can we cut that? We do? We do? Okay.
Right.
I'm actually just a fantastic guy.
Right? But I mean, how cool is it for both of you to get to be, in this experience, both part of the community, and then have this impactful storyline that is obviously connecting with so many people. And like I said, you're buds in real life.
I mean, this has been 4 years now,
Yeah.
and I think we very much, not only as characters grew on this show, but as people,
Yeah.
and people together, people separately. 4 years is a long time, and the first season happened pre-COVID, and then the rest of the seasons happened during and post-COVID. So we very much have sort of this very unique experience of before and after.
Right.
And we were able to, thank God, we were able to continue shooting during COVID and stay together and stay, as a family and as a community. And I think that's really crucial. And again, it's like we grew as people, not as just as characters on the show. So it's a really special bond, and it's something that we will never forget. And this is like Tarlos is with us forever now. And I'm just so relieved, but just honored to have been on this journey with you.
Yeah, I likewise.
It's pretty
likewise,
surreal, man.
Likewise, I keep talking about earning the moment, because truly is it's like it, and certainly the audience has been patient with this wedding, but I think it couldn't have come any sooner. It wouldn't have made sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think the writers and we love our writers. We would be
So
nothing
much.
without them. And I say that quite purposefully. We would be nothing without our writers. Okay.
It always starts on the page.
It always starts on the page with
Always.
yes, and anything that comes from a human heart will infinitely be better than any, it will be infinitely better than anything else.
Like a robot?
Well, robot? Is that? But I think what I'm just trying to say that this wedding wouldn't have happened either. If it weren't for the friendships within the cast and the crew. We have a great group of people.
We got so lucky. It's a big group. It's
Yeah.
like 10
Yeah.
series regulars.
Yeah.
It is very rare.
It's a community. It's
Oh, yeah.
definitely a community. And I would say that I think what allowed that is that I don't think anybody felt alone in this wedding, because you can create you can act, you can perform. That's what we're there for. That's our job. But I think if not most of us, then all of us, we're actually living that moment of togetherness, because we're all quite genuinely friends.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to speak for anybody else, but
and there was very much a celebration. It also was a beautiful moment for the wedding to come literally at the last 2 days of shooting.
Right.
yeah.
So it was this beautiful sort of culmination of everyone coming together, and we finished together. We finished in a celebration, and we finished in an environment of this massive wedding, which is the most beautiful celebration. So it just, everything lined up so beautifully, and man, I cannot wait to see it. I'm freaking out.
I know, I can't wait. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Okay, Raph, what is your favorite quality about Ronen?
Probably my hair.
Your hair.
Yeah,
I think he's always open to have fun. Always looking at things like, how can we lift this up? And
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Ronen, what is your favorite quality about Raph?
Probably his good looks. No, I'm just kidding. It's one of them. But I'll say this: the stuff that we've had to do on this show for the last 4 years, if you don't have a scene partner that is coming into the scene with his heart completely open, and his soul completely open, and his spirit completely open, it will just not work.
Right.
And I want to say thank you, and it's been such a joy and a pleasure to watch you show up to work every single day with that open heart, with that open spirit, with that open soul. And it has made my job so much more enjoyable and so much more fun. And sometimes it's really intense and nerve-wracking. You feel all these emotions. And a lot of the times we're in the scene and we kind of forget the cameras are rolling. And that literally happened during our chemistry read. So like, you know, this
Good
whole
sign,
journey,
yeah.
this whole journey together has been really beautiful. And again, it's only because I have a scene partner like that. And I think you can see it on screen.
You can.
You know, it's the chemistry is on fire.
Chemistry is on fire. That is I love that. Speaking of that, Rafael, we know, congrats by the way, season 5 is definitely happening. What, you know, I feel like the wedding hasn't even happened. I'm like, now what? What would your, you know,
What's next?
Yeah, what's
What
next?
is that?
What would you want to happen? I know, you know, it's early on and things like you said are sensitive with the writers right now, but if you could just put a couple ideas out there for Tarlos for season 5, what would you hope to see?
For Tarlos, oh Lord, I definitely want to see. Well, I think individually, I want us to progress at our workplace, whatever that looks like. But
Yeah.
I think it's worthwhile checking back with that conversation with children and creating a family. And what does that family look like? And what does that family look like in Texas? Oh man, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, just
Endless
that.
possibilities.
Yeah, endless possibilities.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so many things that. I mean, what does marriage look like for these two? You know.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna echo what Rafa said, and I would love to see where we go with that kid conversation. And you know, there is still a half brother lurking somewhere in New York.
Right.
You know, and I would love to explore sort of what that looks like.
Right.
So you never know.
And listen, before we wrap up, you know, Ronen, I think about, do you ever think about like how different your life might have been had you not been on the show? Because I know playing this character was instrumental in you, you know, coming to terms with who you are, publicly speaking about it. I mean, what if this never would have happened?
It's kind of a scary thought, you know. I would think that hopefully eventually a different experience or a different job would inspire that. But I don't think it could have been a more welcoming and loving environment, to be completely honest. To be on a show like this, you know, with creators who are in the LGBTQ plus community, people that we know are actually taking care of these storylines and making sure that they're authentic, and you know, having a co-star like this that I leaned on, you know, when I was really contemplating, like, do I want to share this with the world? Because it was a very scary time in my life. You know, I didn't know how people react, most importantly, close friends and family. And yeah, I've lost some people because of that, but I don't regret it for a second.
You never know, right? You never know how people are gonna. No matter
You
how
never know.
much,
You never know. And then there was many times where I was pleasantly surprised with people that I thought maybe would be the ones that would reject me the most. They actually were the most supportive. So I would like to think that yes, but this was the perfect sort of home to fully come to terms with who I am and share my story with the world. So I'm grateful to the show for so many levels. You know what I mean? It's so much more than just a job. It's been truly life-changing.
Well, thank you both so much. Just a reminder, everyone, the big finale, the wedding we've all been waiting for, the wedding of Tarlos, 2-hour finale will be Tuesday at 8 o'clock on Fox. Congrats.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you so much.